Got me ready on the block?
Harold, I can't. I just can't. After all that Mr. Blunt has put us through, put all the court system through, put Harris County through, I can't justify, and I give everyone PR bonds and I get harangued like crazy because of it. But with Mr. Blunt's history, he's
There's not a fair to
repeated.
hold his history against him for this case. Totally different case.
I understand that you're saying it's a completely different case, but nevertheless, it's contact after contact after contact. Ag rob, criminal mischief, aggravated assault family member, VPO, evading arrest, assault of a peace officer, attempted escape, VPO, DWI second. The problem is that it just over and over and over and over. And all I want is the public to be safe. That's all I want.
But all those are prior to 2023, Judge.
No, they were all disposed of 2 weeks ago.
Not all of those. Usually.
Yes. Okay.
Those are always passed.
VPO, the attempted escape, the assault of a peace officer, the evading arrest, felony, or our evading arrest, our VPO, the aggravated assault of a family member. All those cases, 515, 520.
Because Mrs. Blunt is here. She's the lady I spoke at earlier. Spoke with her, and she said that since her husband's released from prison, her two older children have resented him coming back. They don't want anything to do with him. They're jealous of the time that she spends with him. And so it's caused a lot of conflict. One of them has mental problems. They called the police on the father.
You're telling me that she puts him above her children?
Judge, I'm saying the time that she spends with her husband, any normal time, husband or wife, after you've had 15 years or whatever, spending with two kids alone, all of a sudden dad comes home and now they're jealous of that time.
Yes, is that biological father?
Yes, but she's here today, Judge. She can tell you about that. That there's been instances like the calls to the house. Her son has mental problems, and he actually pulled a knife on his father recently. They called the police, and charges weren't filed. But one of the charges that's in
It's
there,
like, Harold, him going over there, it's a recipe for disaster. And I'm telling you now, ma'am, come up.
what I'm saying is this DPI case is because the daughter was following him and called to say her mom was being beaten by him. And when the police roll up, she's okay, they're talking, and then the DPI investigation begins. I'm trying to get the 911 call, trying to get the report. I can't get either one of those, or the report just says DPI, but anything, the initial part of this to see if we can see if she called and said her mom's being beaten.
I know that you're going to tell me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods, right?
Well, I want to tell you the whole thing, Judge, because
I don't want to get into the facts of the case. Like, that's not a concern of mine right now.
Right.
Ma'am, are you Miss Blunt?
Yes.
Or what is, so my only concern is public safety. How many fatalities do you see in Harris County on a daily basis because of DWIs?
you see them all the time.
No. Every single
Every day.
day.
That's correct.
Harris County leads the nation in DWI fatalities because every single day a person dies, perhaps two or more. And it's such a preventable statistic. It's such a preventable thing where,
So, I mean,
and the problem, what I see is criminal case after criminal case after criminal case. And not 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, he had 5 very violent felonies that were all one way or the other disposed of. And now we have a DWI second where I guess allegedly he's driving in a manner that causes other people for concern. And I know that you're going to say no, but remember, there's always two sides to a story. I know that there's your side, but there's also an officer's side. And the evidence is going to point to whose side is correct. I don't know.
We were parked, sir. We were not even driving. Our dog,
Okay. I don't want to get into the facts of the case, right?
It's just, of course, we defer to the court's discretion. I just like to know concerning for the state, Your Honor, is that for whatever reason, we're not understanding the circumstances for which the daughter called, but it clearly was enough for the daughter of the defendant to make a call to law enforcement to alert them of the conditions.
The daughter's 20.
she doesn't even live in the home.
But nonetheless, the fact that the
So-
daughter called to make, and it
But,
wasn't a will, it wasn't just a random witness, this was the daughter that called out of whatever concern enough to alert the officers. So I think without having done any, spoken with the young lady as of yet, I guess this just raises concerns for the state that the daughter of the defendant did make the call to the officer to alert of this defendant driving.
What were the driving facts again that they alleged? So was he driving the wrong way? Was he speeding? What was he doing?
Let me just go back to the,
There weren't any just,
Stay with us, Val.
I believe it, based off the description that the daughter who's 20.
Mr. Blunt. Val. Talk about Mr. Blunt. I don't know if you remember Mr. Blunt. Picked up another DWI.
It says that the officers were dispatched because the reportee, which was the defendant's child, 20 years old, we do now know, called said her father was driving intoxicated, and that his mother was in the passenger seat. Officers located the defendant's vehicle. Officers observed the defendant in the driver's seat with the ignition on. Officers observed the defendant to have slurred speech and the smell of alcohol coming from his person. Also observed an open container in the defendant's vehicle, later observed to be cold to the touch, almost 12 ounces of Bud Light. The defendant admitted to driving with his wife in the passenger seat and also consuming 2 to 3 Bud Light beers, 12 ounces. And then the SFSTs were conducted, which
I think that's, the only thing that I'm going to say is that how old is you've got one 20-year-old and what's the
I
other?
have we have a 20-year-old, we have a 17-year-old, and we have a 16-year-old. And
Just, I know that, like I said, you're going to say little bunnies, right? But I'm going to tell you that if your children resent Mr. Blunt, they will potentially lash out in ways that could really, really affect you and Mr. Blunt in ways that will create so much drama. I shudder to think what's going to happen, because when a child resents someone else and when they don't like someone, and if they can't get attention from mom in the way that they want.
that's what it is, a game of tug of war right now. It's what it feels like, Judge. It's a game of tug of war between kids who have had me alone for 15
Needs to be
years.
protected more. Children.
At this point, to be honest with you, my husband and I are the ones who are getting the physical effects.
So a
of the things.
16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 20-year-old are reaping havoc on you and Mr. Blunt?
That is correct, sir. That is correct, because I'm not sure if you can pull reports, but on the 23rd of last month, my 20-year-old daughter and my mother came to my home. And while me and my husband were laying there in bed, we're trying to entice my husband, and I constantly asked them to leave my home. My husband walked away from the situation, and they followed him from our home to the Beltway on foot while he continued to walk. On top of that, these are just angry kids who have had me alone for 15 years, and now that I'm trying to divide my time between the two, it's a game of tug of war. That's what it is, Judge.
The problem is that, whether you have Mr. Blunt, or you have this. The problem is that
And we're seeking
the
counsel.
kids are always the innocents. Kids are always the ones that get beat up. Kids are always the ones that are injured mentally, emotionally, hung up like meat to be just pounded. And it's really unfortunate that, they're looking to you for protection, for love. And when they see that someone else here, they don't like it.
But they're the ones who are basically abusing us. That's why they're not even.
16-year-old.
Yes, my
Physically-
16-year-old son, the day that my husband came home, he was just angry. My 16-year-old has mental health issues. He pulled a gun on my husband the day my husband came home. It's a HPD report. There is a constable report from the day that my daughter and my mother came to our house. And they busted.
If you're choosing Mr. Blunt over the kids, then I would probably have someone else take custody of those kids. Because, to me, it shows that you would prefer to be.
But I'm not, like, he hasn't even been in the home until recently.
Perception is reality, man. The kids they're crying out for you.
And what we're doing family
Lashing out.
counseling.
They're begging you not to. Could it be that with all these violent offenses, they're trying to protect you?
No.
Aggravated assault of peace. What was he in prison for?
Aggravated robbery in 2008.
We all make decisions that we have to live with. You are going to make your whatever decision you want to make, and far be it from me to say anything. My only concern is public safety, right? And whether he should be giving a PR bond at this point. All I know is that he just got out of prison, and now he's picked up another DWI where his own children are concerned about public safety.
Children are attacking, sir.
So,
The state has not had an opportunity to reach out to either of them, and then it's not clear. It says, according to the accusatory document, I'm not sure if it was the son that called because it said his father. So
He was in the vehicle. My son was in the vehicle
so
with
let's,
my daughter.
I don't want to get into the facts of the case. The limited purpose of this hearing now is just to determine whether we should give him a PR bond. And I really don't think that, public safety, if I were to give him a PR bond, public safety would take a back seat. I don't know how else to protect the public.
Judge, he already has a PR bond, right, from the magistrate? So would necessarily be coming from you. You wouldn't
I
have to
would
give
be
another one.
provoking the PR bond.
Okay, but under the Rule 9 of the consent decree, isn't he entitled to a PR bond?
Not on the DWI section.
Do you have a second if unless the case is less than 5 years old, it's 29 years ago?
I'll take a look at Rule 9. Let me see. I'll take a look. But regardless, ma'am, I'm going to tell you now that this is not going to be an easy ride for him. I'm going to have him come 3 times a week to prove to me he's not consuming alcohol, illegal drugs. I've already told him he can't drive, and I'm going to be on him like crazy.
Give him total compliance.
So, okay. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And
It's just, it's a lot going on, Judge, and I'm doing, like I said, it's a game of tug of war between my kids and my husband, and I'm trying to help them all understand, like, I don't choose one, I choose all of you, and
see that.
I understand that.
They don't
And that's
see
why we're
that.
doing counseling.
That's why they're children.
And
Children don't have foresight. Children have blinders like this. They can't see the big picture. All they see is someone who's in prison, who's a violent person, who's now drinking in a car. And they're begging for you not to be with this person who, is that a good role model? Hold on. Is that a good?
People change it, and they have to be given an opportunity to show.
He just got out of prison and he's in the car, allegedly driving with.
They want to see a different side of their father than what they know, but like I try to tell them.
They don't want to see anything, and
that's, you're probably right, Judge.
I have no skin in this game. I don't, to me, it doesn't matter. My only concern are the kids as well. You know, kids have only one person that they look to for protection, you. And if they don't feel protected with you, they don't feel loved by you. And if they feel that you're choosing him over them, holy moly, they're going to make your life a living HE double hockey sticks in ways that if they go out and do something that God forbid they shouldn't do, injure, kill, maim, especially a minor, it's on you.
Right.
It's going to come back to you.
I completely understand that. And
So-
that's why I'm trying to do everything that I can, but even my son with the mental health that he needs, like,
I know that you're trying to smooth the relations between them, and perhaps time is something that can cure that. But when you thrust them in at this so fast of a juncture, you know, time heals all wounds. Perhaps you slowly integrate them back into the process. Slowly, maybe one time a month, have them come over. Maybe one time every other month, but to have them come over every single day for it, you know, the kids are like, whoa, what's going on here? And that's, to me, that's how they're lashing out. You know, slowly but surely.
like you said,
That's what I mean, that's what, if you really are hell bent on having it, slowly does it. Don't. All right. Okay. Hey,
Yeah, approach.
I don't know yet. Let me go get rule 9. I'm going to read it because I want to see first
Hey, Judge.
just give me 2 minutes. Let me talk to
Yeah.
Drew. Hey,
Judge, it's something pretty quick. I just want to get your opinion on something. I had a client that